Okay. So guys, today what I need to do, I will create two virtual machines. Okay. And this virtual machines, I will promote these domain controllers. First of all, I will install one virtual machines, and after that I will do the post configurations. After that I will go for the domain controller promotions. Okay, this is the vital things.
So
So
what is the topic today?
today topic is domain controllers promotions as well as post virtual machine configurations. Okay.
Domain controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys, first I am creating one virtual machines. So this is my VMware workstation tool. You all know that this is my VMware workstation tools, and this VMware workstation tools, I'm just going to files. Please, those who are not talking, please go on mute. So for your information, whenever you do the practicals, always save the files, server files. While you are creating the virtual server, always select on the E. It is previously it was on C drive. Just select the E. Location will be not C. Just select C to E. That's it. Rest of all is there. Okay. Next, click on that as 30. Now this is I have create the container. Now as you know, the OS will be installed. Let's do it. After create this one, I will clone the virtual machines. It is just like a building a server. We are creating a server. On top of that, we are installing the OS. So this is the process. We are installing and configure the server. Okay. So this is the process. After complete the server, we will do the configuration. So what is, first of all, today topic is domain. First of all, I am telling you what is domain. Domain is a logical boundary. Okay. So guys, for your informations, you are traveling to some other official purpose, and urgently you want a laptop or desktop to send the mail. Just understand the concept. Now you are passing some before of IT company, right? Now you go their office and tell boss, can you give me one system for 15 minutes? I'm sending one mail. If they allow you to use their systems, will you able to use their systems? No. Will you able to use their systems?
No, not possible.
Answer is no. Answer is no. Why? Because this machine was under the domain, and only the users under the domain can access the systems. So that is called the domain and logical boundaries. So Noor, is that clear to you?
Can you repeat for me? Yeah. Sorry, I missed something. Yeah.
So here, as of now, last day we have created two servers, and these two servers anyone can access, right? Even just understand the scenario when you are going to cyber cafe. So does it require any user ID password?
Yeah.
No. You just go there.
You go there and they're gonna give you user ID and password. You just connect and cafe.
Okay.
No?
So this is, sometimes in India, sometimes they not even provide you, because there is no question of user ID password. Just go enjoy your computing and then leave, right? That means this is roadside cafe, allow for everyone. So,
okay.
So is this comes of any security? No.
There is no security.
There is no security. To perform the security, we are implementing the Active Directory. In this Active Directory, just think these two machines are surrounded by a certain logical boundary. It's called the domain. Now,
so you call the domain like a security?
Domain, definitely it's part of security, IT security management. That means those are the legal official, those are the users, official employees or users. They only can use the machines, other person will not. Clear or no?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Until and unless the company wants that people will be the part of users or company, he will not be able to use that machines. Right? Now, my question, who is hold the domain? Where the domain exists? Domain exists whenever, after this is your physical machines, you are installing OS. Now, after installing OS, there is a roles. It's called Microsoft ADDS roles. After you installing these roles, there will be a logical boundary created. And this logical boundary is your company forest. Now, each and every machines is the part of this. If you add these machines to into the domain, they all are part of this computer domain. Then earlier anyone can use these machines. Now onwards no one can use, only except this part of domain users. Clear or
so not? Is it like a security of the boundary for the few machines?
Exactly.
They are like authenticated users.
They are also called authenticated users. Okay. So now tell me, who is managing domains? That's a managing domain by domain controllers. Now those are managing domain controllers. It's called them domain admin. Okay. So this scenario I will create and I will show you the practicals. So my server is already built. Okay. And after the server built, I will first clone another machines. Just for the quick purpose. Because again I have to install the clone, wait server, it will take too much of time. So better not, why not we will go into cloning. So cloning only possible in the virtual server, not for physical box. Okay.
So I can't create the clone my PC.
Yeah, you can't create. Cloning means you are entirely copying and rolling the servers over the virtual machines. Let's say I'm just firing off these machines. Cloning means you are creating replicate same another machines, but the security ID will remain same. So those machines, once you are creating and cloning, the machines will be remain in the networks. They cannot work together. Even none of the machine will work. Why? Until and unless you change the security ID. Once you are installing the operating system in machines, there will be security ID created, like our Aadhaar cards, voter card. Every man having their own unique identification number. So same machine also have the one identification number. It's called SID. Now why you are installing OS, the SID is also there. Now why you are cloning these machines, SID will be the remain same. Now if those machines, I'll add into the domain, none are identical. This one person having same Aadhaar card, another person also same Aadhaar card. If they are alive, well, anyone can work. No. That is why I want to change the Aadhaar card some other person, then only. The same like I have to change the security on persons. So first I am going to cloning these machines. Cloning means server already built, OS already built, what are the prerequisites already built. Now instead of installing another server, I am just replicate these servers. It's called cloning. To save the time. That's it. And this is only possible in virtual VMware itself. If your server is a virtual server, then only cloning possible, otherwise it's not. Even whenever we learn the cloud, the cloning also possible there. Okay. So for there only, I'll just cloning, before you perform the cloning, you have to make power off these machines. Okay. Then go to the manage and perform clone. Click on next, create full clone. Here always I'm telling you, whatever the server you are giving name, just put it server test 112, whatever it is, and this location should be E.
Can you please go back to previous option?
Yes, go back to previous options, create full clone. What is the difference between link clone and full clone? Link clone means hard disk will be shared. That means whatever the hard disk for test 11, same hard disk will be used for these machines. So it will create a lots of problems. Better to create.
There is no split.
Yes, the better to create full clone.
Okay.
That is the techniques here in virtual machines. Don't compare these things with physical to virtual. Virtual is a different concept. Physical is a different concept. Physical, why virtual comes into the picture? To reduce the cost. Right?
But if there is no physical system, then how can we come into the virtual system?
Exactly. So in that case, the question is,
if
there is no physical hard disk, then how come virtual hard disk will come? Okay, the very good question will asked by Rajdeep. Let's understand the concept. So guys, you have a company around 400 cities. Now 400 cities, you have more than 2 lakhs employees, right? And 2 lakhs employees or company itself 400 applications. Now 400 application needs 400 server. Now 400 will be a physical server. Do you imagine how much cost you have to pay?
No, we can do that. One server can applications, 400 applications. We can attach 2 applications in one server.
It is not like your LED TV in your home. Okay, it's every application will host every individual server. Because once the application in production, the application will handle multiple threading, multiple processing, multiple requests. Now, if one server, one application already occupied by this session, it will impact another application as well. In the production, none of these servers will hold multiple applications. Every application have dedicated every servers. Now around 400 applications you have in your organizations, along with productions, along with manufacturing, everywhere it is controlled by software. Now each software they needs a dedicated server, right? So dedicated server will count 400. So will you purchase 400 physical box? Not possible. There is a huge costing. So virtual concept will come. You have to purchase one around. Now if you have a 400 physical box, then you have to purchase 400 physical machines. Sorry, 40 physical machines. And these 40 physical machines will hold
400 applications are there.
Yes.
And we will have to buy 400 physical servers.
40 physical machines.
40 physical machines.
That for each machines will hold 10 numbers of virtual machines. That is why the course will be split. And it is only you will be understood, enter the concept whenever we'll move to VMware.
Why we will why only one physical machine will handle only 10 virtual machines? It can do 25, 30, 50.
You are telling because there's no concept about it. Because one applications will have, let's say this is on physical machines and ESXi machines, and it is holding multiple operating systems, right? I mean, these machines can have multiple computers, right? So this computer, how they are getting memorized from there, everyone will take the memory from this particular physical machines, right? Now it was, let's say this one 92%, 93% memory. Let's say it is access at most 80% of memory. Now it access around 60% of memory. Now it is at most 55% of memory, and it is almost complete 55%, 60% memory. So this is the physical machines. It's not the unlimited library. How much they can accommodate? It also have the capability, right? So max to max, as per the, if you have the capacity, So you can host maximum 10 number of machines.
Maximum 10 number of machines can be holded by one physical machine.
This is called the ESXi host. ESXi host will host this 10 number of physical virtual, 10 number of virtual machines.
Only 10 number, that is the limitation.
Limitation not there. It is depends on your physical machine capacity. It is depends on your physical machine capacity.
Okay.
How much you have RAM, how much you have CPU, that depends. Now local machine can have enormous of RAM or physical machines. How much you have installed? Tell me. In a physical box, max to max you have installed 30 core, right? And max to max you have 128 GB, not more than that. Now this much of hardware, how much can virtual machine can host? Rather than 10 to 15 machine can be host, right? Now after any requirement come, then where he get the resources? So you have to preserve advancedly. So you cannot hold the n number of machine on his physical machines, physical host. You got my point? Okay, still not clear. Guys, you have any doubts?
No.
Noor, you have any doubts?
No.
Understood?
Yeah.
Muhammad, any doubt?
No. 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 No.
Okay. So Rajdeep also having doubts. I'm again repeating these options. So my concept I'm telling you guys, this understood the concept. What is physical machines and virtual machines ratio in the market? So generally guys, nowadays all the company are trying to take their machine, server machine 30, 70, 20, 80. That means 20% physical host, 80% virtual host.
80% virtual host and
20% virtual host, 20% physical host, 80% virtual host. 30% physical host, 70% virtual host. Why? Because physical host is the cost. You have to purchase the physical machine from the market. Now you cannot dedicatedly invest for individual application to individual physical machines. You are investing that 20 physical machine will hold 80% 80 virtual machine. You got my point?
yes.
That is called VMware, virtual machines, VCP, virtual, no, VCP is vCenter.
Virtual certified professional.
VMware
certified
certified
professional.
professional. Okay, so in VMware certified professional will tell you this kind of knowledge. Data center, it's called the SDF. That means software defined data centers. Data center means what? Data center, it's kind of room will hold your all physical boxes, storage boxes, network devices, right? But in software defined data centers, only one or two machines along with storage connectivity will hold enter your data centers, which is on virtually. You got my point? So this is actually holded by your virtual. Now, company having branch UK, company having branch US, and company having branch on India, right? Now these three branches, they have around 10 number of application, or let's say 100 number of application. So if they distribute the load between 1 to 3 region, that each region will handle 30 kind of application will be handled. Now 30 kind of application will be hosted in 30 different servers, right? So what they are doing, they are installing the physical boxes around all these infrastructures. That means few number of there, 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 and few number of there. These are the physical hosts. These physical hosts are connected each other, right? These physical hosts are connected each other.
Yeah, this is a cluster, no?
Exactly, it is a cluster. It is all connected each other. Now, what happened? On top of that, the virtual machine you are creating. Now, you are creating one virtual machine on there. Okay. Now we are creating virtual on there. Now we are creating one virtual there. Now one we are creating virtual machine there. We are creating there. Creating 1, 2, So your requirement almost full. Now what is the benefit of it? I'm telling you. What is the benefit of the ring? I mean, the circle. I'm telling you, this is a virtual machine. Okay. Now each physical machine, that's number of virtual machines are running, right? Now the benefit is, let's say any of the let's say any of the machine is crashed. Okay. Let's say this machine will crash. Once it is crashed, all this virtual machine will be moved to the other working host. This is why this is called this is totally managed through software defined data center, which is not at all possible in physical model. Clear or not?
One physical server, if it goes down or if it is not working, then we will completely move the virtual machines.
We will not. It will be automatically moved. It will automatically move. It's called the feature called vMotion. In VMware, the feature called vMotion. So in that case, it is all are connected as a networks, right? And the vCenter will manage each and individual host and qualify each and individual host there. If any machine not responded, they will move the running virtual machine on it to the other working host. That is why we all are moving to the VMware solutions, right? In VMware solutions, many facility you can get like vMotions, like SBMotion. I will later on will learn the VMware, will learn so many things. But only cloning is only one of the feature to them. Any of the working server, let's say you have a task, 40 server you have to install OS, and not only OS, side by side you have to install application as well. Now it's very time taking for you. Now one server, you just estimate that one server complete build, it will take 40 to 1 hours. Now if you have to go for 40 machine, now 40 hours will take, then why not create one server, clone 40. Clear?
So one server will be able to hold 10 app means what 10 appli.
That concept, don't be confused here. Don't be confused here. Here I discuss the data center model. Now forget about this. Now comes to here. Okay.
For more detail, when we learn the VM, then we will get all the details, right?
Exactly. So more details. I'm just telling you the virtual machine concept. So once we learn the VMware, that will be more highlighted there. Got my point?
Yeah.
So now
Yes,
in
yes.
virtual machine, what are the benefits? I'm just telling you. Cloning is one of the benefits. Let's say in your physical, let's say one of the lab, there is all physical machines, and now one machines you take 40 minutes to complete all the installation, like including operating systems, like side by side all programs. After operating system, you are installing OS. After installing OS, you have to install, Office 2000, antivirus, some kind of things. Now, the same thing you have to do for 40 machines.
40
Now,
machines.
how much time will take? 40 hours, right? Each day you work 8 hours, then 5 days it will take, right? But cloning will save you times. One machine will take 40 minutes. Within 2 hours, you can create 40 machines by cloning. What do you understand by the cloning? Cloning means copying one person.
Totally with this,
Exactly.
with these features, everything will be
Everything, now you're telling everything.
Uh,
But server having their own unique ID, SID. It is also having the same. In that case, we have to change the SID, right? So that is I'm going to do. Hold on. Hello? আরে দিয়ে দিয়েছি তো তুমি দেখো হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে দেখো দেখে নাও
mute করেছো? Mute করে কথা বলো। No need.
দিয়ে দিচ্ছি Okay. So now we are making this machine cloning. Okay. So click on finish. Okay. How many time it will take to install one server? Server is built. Now once you power on those two machines, you know. So let's power on test 11.
Test 11 and test 12 both are
Same server. I have built server test 11 and after that cloning I have created test 12. Now both two server having same operating system, same everything, right? Now in test 12 I also power it on, both having in the same networks. It will not longer, they can power on at the same time but cannot be work in the networks. If you are in the production type, you are using these two machines, it will not work. So to prevent this, I have to do one remediation. What the remediations? Any one of the servers, you have to change the SID. Okay? Security ID. So for that only, you have to go start. This is sysprep. Exactly. We are using sysprep. In sysprep, click on it. You will see there is the options. Enter system out of box enterprise. This is a OOB is the concept. Okay. So we cannot, whatever the default option will set, click on generalized and then click on OK. Once you click on OK, it's generating server security ID. Once you are clicking on OK, it's generating server security ID. After that, this server will be a totally different, not having same.
Oh, security ID will be changed.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay, let it be done. Then we'll go for the configuration part. So Noor, still now it's clear to you, right?
Yeah, I think we done it same thing last night, no?
Yes. Last night we also did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this part. Now, after from this position, if you want to enter into the server, just click on there, send Control Delete. Now it is showing administrator. Okay. So as you change the security ID, okay. So your systems, it's take the administrator password. Now if you want to set this machine's administrator password, where you have to go from start, run, type comp mgmt.msc. From there, local users and groups, click on users, administrator and set passwords. right? Perfect. So these two machines now local administrator have password protected. Fine. Now let's understood the basic things of server configuration. So after the post of installation of operating system any of the server, next what is your responsibility? To port the IP addresses. First only you have to go run. So last day as I told you guys which kind of IP address we have to provide it for large organization, that is class A.
Class A.
So we have to provide them class A. If you are doing certain lab, then you can use class C, class B, anything else. But if you don't need router in middle, I mean if you are using two different networks, then two different networks cannot be communicated as a single moment until and unless you make the router inside of that. Okay. So I'm showing you. I'm going to the ncpa.cpl. You will see that the NIC card was disconnected state. The NIC card was disconnected. Why? You have to go there, settings. Now here, if you click on, there is a 19 switches up there. 19 switches. Anyone you can use it, but that should be unique for every machine. This you are trying to establish connection between these two machines, test 11 and test 12. So every machines will have the same connections. Click on OK. Now you can see it will be connected state. Clear? It is on connected in the networks. Next I am going to this machines. You can see there. It is on disconnect state. Again you have to go to the settings, networks, and select specific virtual machines, VNet 0. Okay. So for your information guys, what I am doing.
So you just try to, communicate each other. So you're doing configuration, no?
Yes, I am doing communicating each other. So guys, these steps, anyone having any doubts?
I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
When you are configure that network portion, there's some three options there. One is NAT, and other one is bridge. And after that, one is called VNet that you have chosen.
Okay. I'm coming. I'm coming. Your answer. I'm coming. Before that, I'm just telling Rajdeep what I'm doing. Let's say, as I told, that I'm creating the server, one server and one workstation, right? And this server will hold the domain, and I will promote it as a domain controller. So what is the necessary things? This server must have communicated these two machines. So that I'm going to establish. Create connection between these two servers. Clear? So to that only, here n number of switches are there, right? Now these machines you are adding VNet 0, and this machine you are adding VNet 2. Is there any way you have to establish connection? No. Why? Because in that case everyone should have connected in the same VNet. Then only connection will establish. Clear or no? So same thing I'm doing.
The round one was VNet.
VNet. That means NIC card. Simple NIC card. Just go to the NIC adapter. Here n number of switches, up to 9 switches are there. Any one you have to choose, and same have to other machine as well. I am going to establish the connection between these two machines. Like you are a hardware engineer. You are setting one lab. After install OS, multiple machines, what you need to do?
You need to connect it to the
Exactly. That's I'm doing. Establish the connection. All peoples are there. One people understand Urdu, another people understand Telugu, another people understand Bengali, you understand Hindi. Will anyone communicate each other?
No.
It will create chaos.
So we have to create a common language.
Exactly. All people have to understand a common language, that is English, and then only can each one speak each other. So same things. Everyone should understood either VMnet 0 or VMnet 1 or VMnet 2 or VMnet 3, then only communication is established. So that I am doing. Other part, apart from this customs, there is an option host only. So generally host only uses whenever we are creating virtual private networks, or whenever we'll understood and create the netting. So this purpose, these two options there. And bridge only mode, if you want to enable the internet these machines, so this only bridge only mode, it will take internet connection from your base machines.
This machine means physical machine.
This physical machine, my machines.
Oh.
This is virtual machine, right? This is virtual machines, and from this virtual machines, virtual machines will take connection from my base machine, base server. This is my base server. So then only bridge connection will work. Clear? Clear? Perfect. Now you have enabled in the same machine, just understood the concept. You know, these machines and these machines, these two are these machines, and middle of that you have, there is a switch. So you have connected from this to here and this to here, but you have not given any IP address. Will they communicate? So that's I'm going to create IP address first, and this is the same network's IP address. Okay, 10.10.10.10. That's it, simple 10. And this is 11, right? Perfect. So now if we want to create connection, how I know it will be work each other? I have to set up a ping. So in that case, from this machines, if I going to ping 10.10.10.10, it is showing request timeout. That means connection not established. What is the possible reason? You have to disable the firewall. So here maybe someone having confusions, why I am doing this kind of things, why I am doing, because guys, you are actually server admin. So these are the things you have to know. That means the manual of the Windows, where there are options, where it is based on that you will perform your any kind of tickets will come. Let's say the request comes, server communication error. Let's say the ticket come, server not working. So you have to do it accordingly. So just you have to stop the firewall, create, and the same machine also doing that.
Siddharth, one question I want to ask.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the question is that actually the firewall, when we off, after that we are easily able to communicate, right? So if we off the firewall, and in this during off session, if some malware infected in the machine, so what I have to do?
No one's. So I am just showing you here. If you are not interested firewall, make it firewall, make it on, and then as I told you the rules that day.
Yeah, I go to file and print share.
Yes. Go to the file and print share, select this one and click OK.
After that I am able to communicate, right?
Yes, with firewall.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
With firewall you guys can communicate. Clear?
Yes, Siddharth, clearly.
Right? Now I am going to promote this virtual machines server to domain controller. Now what is the difference between server and domain controller? Can anyone tell me? What is the difference between server and domain controller?
Yes, Siddharth. So server is a kind of container services, right? In server there are the number of application and number of things running. Fine. So just for example, if we talking about domain controller, so domain controller is already running the server application, server OS only. Okay, this is the part of domain, the part of server.
Okay, so basically difference between server and domain controller. Server also, first I'm telling you the similarities, okay. So first, server and domain controller similarities is both having operating systems, right? Both having, you know, all this antivirus and all those stuffs. Now what is the difference? The difference is domain controller will hold Active Directory database, server cannot. Domain controller is basically a server and it is identical as a domain controller, just installing by a role which is called ADDS role. So before we make the domain controller, first we have to install the OS and it is become considered as a server. Until and unless we install and configure the roles called ADDS, it's still we can say it's called the server. Now once we install and configure the ADDS role, now you create, this server will create itself a domain. Now this server will create itself a domain. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So in that case, what I need to do, I have to install one role. But before that, I will do some modification before we perform, because computer name, you see there's a different name, all those stuffs are different. So I'll just change the computer name and make it DC. That means domain controller 01. After you click on OK, computer name change, it will ask for the reboot.
Why we need to restart here?
Until unless you restart, your APIs will not register or consider the computer new name. That is why once you change, it will automatically take reboots. You no need to do manually. There is options, reboot later on, but until and unless you do the reboot, the new name will not be active. Now this is your Microsoft. As I told guys, that this is the operating systems and this is for the server operating system Windows 2012. So periodically, if anyone asks you what are the server operating system, you know. So the first operating system was developed it's called the Windows NT. After Windows NT, it's all come 2000. After that 2003, then 2008, then 2012, then 2016, and currently available is 2019. Right? Every operating systems have three different roles: standard, enterprise, and data center.
The standard enterprise and
It's actually the three kind of features or flavor of the server operating system: standard, enterprise, data center. The difference is standard is only using for small organizations, enterprise using for the large organization, data center using for data center purpose. Because if you need more features, more capacity planning, then definitely we'll go for the data center edition. Three kind of feature server features: standard, enterprise, data centers.
Is core will be there, server core operating system?
Server core operating system, there if you install the server core operating system, there is no GUI.
Right.
There is no GUI, only there is a command prompt. And this was designed just because of security purpose. Clear?
Yeah.
Because some portions, if you install GUI, it will consume more memory. But if you go for core options, it will not take so much of memory.
Less thread.
That is the purpose. Clear?
Yeah.
So here I am going to promote the domain controller. That means I am creating a domain with my company name. If let's say my company name is Siddharth Solutions or Siddharth Softtech. So these servers will hold my Siddharth Softtech domain. As this server hold that Siddharth Softtech domain, then I call this server as a domain controller. Clear? That is the purpose of domain controller. Now this domain controller will not load, it's not recommended that can install another application as well. They will interview will ask you, if you will you recommend it that any of the domain controller can install any application? Then strictly say no. Domain controller only there to hold the domain and public authentication. Let's say Rajdeep have create one of the company Rajdeep Infotech, right? In Rajdeep Infotech there is a 40 member, right? So 40 member the Rajdeep employee. So Rajdeep have created their 40 employee ID and user. Where he have created on Rajdeep domain. Now who is hold the Rajdeep domain? Certain machines. That machine called domain controller. Who the domain controller? General Windows Server. Now General Windows Server, after installing Microsoft role, it become a domain controller. Now this machine will only hold this particular domain and authenticate the employee inside this organizations. Clear or not? It's not clear. Okay. So this domain name is, Rajdeep.com. Rajdeep have created this logical domain. Who will hold it? Someone have to hold someone this. So this machine is hold this Rajdeep.com. So this machine you can say it's called the domain controller because it's holding the domain, right? Now this domain also have the options to create user inside this domain, right? The Rajdeep having 40 employee, so Rajdeep will create the user there, so that these are called domain user. Now once the person will come office the morning, he will enter into the office premises and then log in his computer, right? Now after logging into the computer, who will authenticate?
Active Directory.
Yes. Who is Active Directory?
Active Directory is the service who means.
Where the service holder? Where the service there?
It is in the domain controller.
Exactly. Now understood. Everyone is understood.
Yes.
Noor, it's clear to you.
Yeah, it's clear to me.
Yeah, got it.
Everyone clear? Perfect. So this only feature until and unless you install Windows ADDS role, it cannot work. So now I am going to install this ADDS role. Is that clear? Perfect.
Yeah.
So guys, this is the Windows operating systems. As you know, after you installed anything you need to manage, you have to go server manager.
Server manager.
Okay.
You will be managing the.
Exactly. In server manager, first option is dashboard. In dashboard option, you see there is a 3 options: add roles and features, add other server to manage, or create server rules. Right? This is I'm telling you later on. So this is the main things: add roles and features. From this option, you can take remote other servers and give them and manage itself. Right? So I am, as I told you, we know everywhere is a Play Store will contain the App Store will contain the lots of apps. So it's just like an App Store. Windows Server application, add roles and feature is just like an app store where all the roles are there. You need to go and choose your role and install it. Clear? Okay. And all server options, okay, not this one, local server option, this is your panel where you can modify, edit whatever you need. Like if you want to change computer name, now if you want to change any other settings, that you can do from local server itself. Clear? Okay. Add roles and features, first you have to go next, 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 and there is a role, Active Directory domain services. This role will allow you to create the domain. Clear or not?
Domain services will allow to create the domain.
Yes, until unless these features, there is ample amount of roles. Ample amount of roles are there. Edit, Active Directory, we all know one by one. Active Directory Certificate Service, Active Directory Domain Service, Active Directory Federation Service, Active Directory Lightweight Directory Services, all one by one, Hyper-V, everything is there. Install it, configure it. Install it, configure it. That's it. That is why it is called server systems. The same feature will you able to show in Windows 10 or Windows 7. Why? This is called client OS. This is called server OS.
Oh, that is called client base.
Client OS.
Client OS.
Client machines. It is using for general purpose of day-to-day work. This is engineering purpose. Server is basically engineering purpose. Clear?
Client system cannot provide any services
Exactly.
like server has.
Client service,
Right?
client service, this is a way of design. Client service only performing you certain compute work. Limited compute work. It cannot provide any services. Server
Server can provide multiple roles.
Server will be a feature that will provide you the services. That is why any web page you are going to host, where you have to host? Application server. So what application server is? Windows operating systems. If it is Windows operating system, through IIS you host the application. If it is a Unix operating system, through JBoss you host the applications, or Apache Tomcat you host the application. But both the cases it will be a server, right? So server cannot be using for general Word Excel purpose. So same wise, workstation, Windows laptop, Windows 10, Windows 7 cannot be work as a server. That is the main variation. You got my point? You are entering the office and Cognizant, you put your user ID password. Where this password going to send? Your workstation say, boss, one person entering into the premises. So do you know identify? His name is Rajdeep. Cognizant AD will identify him. Yes, I found him in my directory. He is the generic person. Then your system allow you to access this operating systems. Who is Active Directory? Active Directory is a database. Where it is resides? Every domain controllers. Clear?
Clear.
Now this is the roles, Active Directory domain services. Clear? So in Active Directory domain services, click on next.
What is that Active Directory certificate services?
Later on. Don't be take unnecessary load. It will be hampered your knowledge. One after one after one.
There is a huge,
It's an ocean of knowledge there. It's an ocean of knowledge there. First jump into the oceans, then try to swimming, and then you try to reach the place where you have to reach. Or else finish.
we can find out.
Okay. Fine. After install any roles, there is a notification come. But earlier operating systems, after installing ADDS role, you have to go and run. Okay. The command, it's called DC Promo. But DC Promo option is no longer valid in 2012. If interviewer asks you what is the difference between 2008 and 2012, then you say many feature has been disabled, many feature has been invented in 2012. What the feature has been disabled, like 2008 when we have installed and promote domain controller, there is a feature after installing role we have to provide the run DC promo, then we'll configure the DC role, right? Same feature is gone. In 2012, 2016, 2019 onwards, after installing OS, directly you no need to go and run the DC promo. There is an option in flag, it is called a notification. Click on there, you will see there is an option promote this server as a domain controller. Click on this. So after run DC promo, same window will come. After click on this, same window will come. So that feature, it's eliminated on 2012, which was there last 2008, 2003, 2002, 2000 server, like that way. Clear? Any doubt? Perfect. So now I am going to create the domain name is Siddharth.com. Okay. It will be why.com because it is called the TLD, top level domain. When I'll tell you that I'll communicate the DNS, I'll tell you everything why it's telling com. So general purpose, commercial purpose using .com. Okay. So there is a many options. Add a domain controller to an existing domain, add a new domain controller to an existing forest, add a new forest. So guys, can anyone tell me, you don't tell anything, stop. Like other people, who can tell me which option is the appropriate for this configuration?
Add a new domain to an existing forest.
What is your existing forest name?
No, I think it should be add a new first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is actually the concept.
So there is already an existing forest.
Where?
If I am coming to a existing means if I am a valid person for an existing, like a company is having an existing forest, there is already an existing.
I am creating here. Where my existing forest? Tell me what, brother. Right now, any forest there?
No.
Then?
No,
So we are creating.
we just doing first time now, yeah?
You are creating first time. So that is why I am creating the first add new forest. It's a simple concept. Root domain name is, so here my domain name, like I have a company, I am creating my domain, so that will be siddharth.com, siddhartha.com or sig.com, whatever it is. Right? So click on next. Now it will verify any prerequisites is missed or not. Like first prerequisites what we met, we provided that local administrator password. If you not create, it will not allow you because that local administrator will convert domain administrator or built-in domain administrator. That is why the password, if you not protected that password, it will not allow you to go there. Now this is the forest functional level, domain functional level, that this is the advanced part of Active Directory. I'll tell you later on. So general purpose in 2012 is the highest one, that is server 2012 R2. Okay. Now it is asking the type directory service restore mode password. So guys, this password general purpose it is not required, but in case any moment anyhow your Active Directory database will crash, then from backup to restore this domain controller, this password is required. So 365 it will not use, but 366 days when the server will dancing, to restore this you need this password. So this password always you have to keep maintaining your secure vault. Clear? Digital vaults or anyone having break glass applications to maintain all this password and all. Click on next. Next. Now it is finding the NetBIOS domain name. What do you mean by net BIOS? In networks, it will be known as seed.
Network BIOS. What is network BIOS?
Network BIOS means your domain name will be identical as seed. In your forest, everyone know this domain by seed. Instead of seed, you can change it max. No matter. Everyone known by max.
Siddharth, can you repeat this again? Actually, a little bit.
Okay. Net BIOS name means your nickname. Net BIOS name means your nickname. Let's say
NIC carded the name.
no. Your mind is totally distracted. Just clip is clear of it. Net BIOS name, its nickname means, let's say I have a huge big domain name siddharthroy.com. Now every time
Shorter.
this is the short way. So siddharthroy.com, not full name, it is a huge. The network also have options. Give me your suitable name. That suitable name, everyone should remember this domain. So that name it. Your name is Rajdeep.
So you are writing here max, or you can give here
Any
also.
name, any name, organization,
Any.
any name. Inside siddharth.com, the actual domain name is siddharth.com, but inside the forest, every company, every computer will know this domain as max. Clear? Your name is Rajdeep, but some people know you Raj, some people know you Rajdeep. So Raj is your net BIOS name.
This is to make it
Easier.
more easier.
Yes. Okay. So now after creating Active Directory database folder will be C Windows NTDS, log file folder C Windows NTDS, and this is a sysvol. Sysvol is a different chapter, I will tell you. Sysvol will the different things. It will part of Active Directory replication. I will cover up later on. So this is the path. Now once I click on next, so these are actually configuration they have accommodated. These are the configuration it is run. Based on that they will install the roles. Now your Active Directory is building. Noor, any understanding problem?
No, just I think I need to do practice this and see what it is.
Does it comfortable? I mean, you are, it's clearly understood.
So Siddharth, one question I have. What is the NTDS? This is all.
Okay.
What was that?
NTDS is Active Directory. NT means what? New Technology File Systems. NT is means New Technology. D for Directory, S for Services. So NTDS means New Technology Directory Services. Okay. So sysvol is actually shared folders. When we learn the Active Directory replication, you got my point? Once we learn the Active Directory replications, so it's basically a chamber. Sysvol is basically chamber where all the file will be posted there. From this file will be replicated over the entire forest. That is called sysvol.
Okay, so it means it's a kind of database, something, right? Which is stored the.
Not database. It's a shared folder. It's a shared folders. Clear?
Share folder. Okay.
Now your Active Directory database is building and your server will be promoted domain controller. So Noor, any doubts?
Not really. Yeah, it's good to go. Yeah, that's fine. No doubt.
Great.
Just need to do a little bit practice and that's it.
No, the concept is clearing, right? You are understanding the concept.
Yeah, concept is clearing because is no doubt.
Okay. So what is the time now there?
Is that half past 10?
Okay, 10 a.m.
No, half 10.
How much?
No, half 10 a.m. Half 10 morning.
Oh, okay. And it's very cold there, right?
Oh my God! This is the last night. Is snowing and it's so cold, freezing.
It's better to your.
And India. And
it's
how is India weather? It's nice, no?
India weather is it's very awesome. I mean, sometimes you have to run fan, AC, even sometimes we feel you have to go some hill area. Sometimes you are feeling very wind. That is, the combination is very hard. And I mean, what about your weather in Pakistan? It's Quetta, right? I mean, Balochistan, right?
Yeah, Quetta as well is a cold. I mean, it's the same like a similar weather because Quetta is always this time is very cold.
It's mountain area. It's very awesome place. Quetta.
Yeah, it's a mountain area. It's just too cold now.
And from Quetta to Afghanistan, how much distance?
I think it's a few hours.
Okay, so domain controller is built successfully. Now I'm telling you the domain. Okay. So it is subtle of thinking, it's writing, so that is why it's taking time. So after that it will be converted permanently on domain controller.
So test 11 is the domain controller. So.
Yes. So I'll make it rename it DC-01. And I'm making it on my client machines.
Okay.
Or workstation, like a laptop, desktop, like that. Okay. Now, if first time you have to log in, right now you have to logging as now. See the max you have given, it's showing like max. It is not like Siddhartha. It is not like telling Sid. The nickname you have provided, NetBIOS name you have provided max, so it is showing as max as administrator. You got my point?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, it's clear now. And actually, what happened when we are logging in our SCL machine now, it is reflecting as a domain, that is SCL ISD, then / username.
Exactly. So that is why until and unless you will do the practicals, he is actually working in HCL. Muhammad is also working in HCL. So that's it. Okay. So here just go to the run, and if you want to manage Active Directory, you have to go dca.msc. DSC.msc, not dca.msc. dca.msc.
So once
dsa.msc.
What is this for?
Directory Service Administration. MSc is Microsoft Services.
Oh, directory server. DSA, no?
dsa.msc. Now see, in dsa.msc you see the domain name is seed, but you are accessing this machine as max.
directory service administration.
So guys, did you see that? I have, while I'm logging it, it is showing max/administrator, right? But the domain name is different, SID. So
.com.
yes. So the NetBIOS name will allow you how you can want to show your domain. I mean, inside of the domain like that. But originally, actually, it will be SID.com. You got my point? Let's say you have a huge domain name, siddharthroy.com. So every time you have to put siddharthroy.com. No, not possible.
No.
So you can customize name here in NetBIOS as well. Instead of siddharthroy.com, you can put you can put SID, you can put SRoy, you can anything you can put. There.
So Siddharth, one question. Like sid.com is your original domain, right?
Forest. The first domain, always understood, first domain is forest. First forest is the first domain. First domain is the first forest.
Okay.
Clear? Is that clear or not?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, clear.
Perfect. So now if we explore seed.coms, there is options to manage your domain. Now I have 5 people in my organization, those who are employee of my company, like Noor, like Muhammad, like Kena, like Rajdeep. So I want to create his username, right? Like whenever you have joined Cognizant, Cognizant will give you the user ID, right? Where they have created user ID? Active Directory. Now how to create user ID, that I'm showing you. Right click, new users. So first users is me, myself, set, right? So user logon name is Windows logon name.
So then what is initial?
Sorry?
Initial.
Initial means Siddharth Kumar Roy. In midst of you can put KR.
Okay, you can say middle name as a middle name, right?
Middle name, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Now here these options, user must change password at logon. If you enable these options, next time users, once they have to log in, they have the option to change the password. Like after you receive, just because of these options. If you uncheck this, whatever the password you give, that is the permanent passwords. Okay? If you check this option, password never expire, that is actually serious compliance issue. Do not do this, because if you select this option for general users, why? Because if you are not select these options, let's say you are working in HCL, right? Muhammad, you are working in HCL, right?
Yeah, actually I'm telling you one scenario. When I join SCL, so I receive a user ID and password. Okay, so what happened when I first log in? So I changed the password at that time.
Yeah. So that is why, because this option was checked.
And I think that was a temporary password for me.
Exactly.
After that I make it permanent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now if this option not checked, the first time, whatever the password I have given to you, this password you have to use permanently, or you have to request administrator to reset the password. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Next is, if I check these options, what the password I will give you, you cannot change it, because this option is strictly don't allow you to do that. Next option is password never expire. So guys, this option is very, very, very dangerous. Why? Because let's say you are working in HCL, and after 1 year you are getting good opportunity in Wipro, so you are leaving HCL and joining Wipro. Okay, so you have left the organization. Somebody in your team have forget to deactivate your account, right? If they forget, no matter, after 3 months your password will be expired and you no longer use this. If anyone use these options, lifelong your password will be not expired. So this is a serious compliance issue. These options we check only for the service account, because service account is required to configure the application.
So that's one question.
Yes.
If someone tick this mark, okay, password never expire. So what happen if some, just for example, if someone left organization, okay, so if AD person want to disable their account, so they are not able to do that.
No, not like that. Not like that. Password never expire means generally once you leave, your team lead will initiate your revoke access, right? So revoke access means it will first raise a request. The request will come to AD team that this person's when last date is 10th. So after 10th, please 10th end of the day just remove all his access. Clear? This will come. So you set your reminder, and after 5 p.m. once his duty is over, you will deactivate or delete all his user account. Right? Generally, we are not deleting users because maybe the user may come in near futures. So better to deactivate. Right? Now, let's say that person forget to revoke your access. This person has forget revoke your access. What will happen? If this option is not checked, so Microsoft password will expire after 90 days by default. Every 90 days again it will prompt you to change your password. You just thought that every organization have the same policy, right? So that means if you left the organization and after 3 months your password temporarily expire, you are not able to access. So it is safe. Now if you enable these options, the password will never expire. So after you go out the organization, you can enjoy your HCL machines. Clear? So that part you have to understand very carefully.
And that is a serious compliance.
This is a serious compliance issue. We only use this option enabled for service account, because service account is used for to configure any applications.
Service account, what is service account, Siddharth?
I'm telling you. Service account, let's say you are configuring SQL server, and you need that SQL server user ID, domain user will log on. So that means the SQL server need to register in domain. So this service account, it's just like a user account, but it is not created any user name. It is created with generic application name, like SB_SQL, like that. So this account will always have to choose password never expire, or else what will happen? If you not select these options, application will be damaged after 3 months. It will create a P1 ticket. Application will be problem. So for service based user account, you have to enable this option.
Service based user account means when
whenever the user account created with your name, it's called generic user account. Whenever the user account created with the application name, it's called service account. Clear and simple?
Yes, got it now.
Perfect. Noor, it is clear?
Yeah, just for example, Siddharth, some mailbox or some generic ID, okay, so that is known as service account, right?
No, not like that. Mailbox is different concept. Mailbox is part of Exchange. Service account means, let's say any monitoring tools. Any monitoring tools you have created. Let's say HP OVO, let's say SolarWind, let's say Nagios. So these monitoring tools, there is a user ID password console. From here domain user can log in and configure that part.
Yes.
How application know who authenticate that part? Just because of application was registered by this service account, domain service account.
Domain service account has registered that
Application was configured with this domain service account. That is why he is authenticating. You got my point? It's building through domain account. Whenever you are creating user inside the domain, it's called the domain account. Now whenever application is installed with this domain account, so application having power to identify and authenticate user from this domain. Got my point?
Yes.
In that case,
that is why we need to ask, means our manager need to raise request to the client for providing access to this person. Right?
Yes.
Only client can provide access to that person for working on that service tool or any type of
Exactly.
application.
Yeah. Click on next.
That is called onboarding.
That is the onboarding.
That is the onboarding.
You heard that person, he know everything, but he never continue. Today you see, again you will see after 1 year. Okay, that person just call his name Kena. Tell me your name, man. Okay.
Kena Acharya.
Yes. He's Acharya. Only few people will see in his face. He is actually my past 3 batch. Every batch he enter, after 15 days, 40 days he will come. So today
Don't tell like this.
today he promised that he will continue study from this batch. He is working in Accenture. His brain is very sharp. He know everything, but he want to learn smooth what the missing part. Anyway, my first user I have created. I am creating second users.
You have not clicked on any of the options. You have not clicked on any of the options.
That is purpose I am using it. It is not for the, it is for the lab purpose, right?
This you have clicked on
Good.
password never expires.
Good. Password not match. If you mismatch password, it will not take.
Siddharth, what is the criteria for providing password? Like some capital letter, then small, then some
It's
like this, right?
8 character longs and alphanumeric.
Okay.
And one more password I need, account I need. Perfect. So I have created all my employee inside this domain. Now this employee only eligible to log in the computer, not others. Clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Now guys, I'm telling you, among all the users, all are the generic users, no one have any authority to manage Active Directory. No one have any authority to manage. Please go on mute. Who is talking? No, is not talking. So no one having ability to manage Active Directory, because all the people here are generic users, domain users. To domain user to domain administrator, from domain user to domain administrator, we have to add the user in a specific high privileged group. Then only this user is a part of domain admin, right? Now Kena is our domain admin, right? So how I make them domain admin? Just go to the member of, and in member of there is a very high famous group. Okay, I'm showing you first there. There is a very couple of built-in groups are there. Domain admin, enterprise admin. I will tell you later on what the purpose is. Just understood What do you mean by the local administrator? Okay, what do you mean by the administrator, guys? Tell me.
An administrator is that person who can so who is the main administrator, because he will be managing and running all the applications, and he will be taking care that no any other person from that can make any type of glitch does not happen. He will be managing the full portion.
Administrator means the persons having enter power to manage the computer, right?
Correct.
So general purpose, if the machine is not in the domain, then the administrator called local administrator. Whenever the computer is on domain, right, so it will be a domain administrator. For your information, just understood the concept why Active Directory comes into the picture. Let's say your office, only 4 machines are there, and 4 machines you have to manage in your locally. Like installation of OS, anyone having problem Outlook or something else, you are printing, you are locally manage. Now consider these 4 machines convert into 400 machines. Will you be able to manage same time?
Sorry.
I am telling
No.
you, in an organization, you are working as an IT guy, right? You are under 4 machines are there. Any machine having any troubles, you are there to set the problems or fix the problems. Let's say Outlook problem, let's say printing problem, any application issue, any problem, user slowness, everything you have to manage individually. Now organizations are increasing day by day, and after 1 year, the machine count will there will be 400. Will you able to manage at the same time?
No, we have
No.
to keep more people for managing the same.
How many? 400 machines, 400 employees, 400 engineers you will recruit.
No, then I have to maintain a specific thing that any application who will manage the thing.
You say the answer. That means application is what? Active Directory. Clear concept? Everyone is clear?
Yes.
Yes, Siddharth.
Now how will you manage? Let's say there is a domain, right? All machine will be connected into the
to that
domain.
Correct.
Right? Now you guys very often see in your organization that the HR sometime will remind you, fill up your times, fill up your medical e-buddy, fill up your tax, like
Correct.
in your wallpaper. How come? They told Active Directory guys, deploy this wallpaper to your all company computers. They have deployed one things and deploy all over the computers. And everyone, their desktops, they find these options. Now same thing, if they do manually, will it ever possible? That is why Active Directory give you the centralized administration. Got my point? For centralized administration, Active Directory is required along with domain level security. Got my point? So what is the purpose of Active Directory using here? To provide domain level security, to provide centralized administration, unwanted headache, they will reduce it. Clear? Fine? Let's say your employees in organization, they are off time they are watching YouTubes, they are observing off time they are watching movies. So you watch that. How will you do that? Create one policy and apply to the domain controllers. Enter domains. None of the users can watch that video. Now if you go and each an individual computer you are supposed to do it, they will allow you to do that? No. I have a work, please go. Come again. Centrally you have deployed, test to your every machines. That is why centralized.
Even sometimes many websites are being blocked by the Active Directory.
Yes. Active Directory not blocks. Under Active Directory there is an option group policy or group policy management. Through this group policy management you have to create policy, apply this policy over the networks. It will apply either computer or either users. you can apply this policy filter out based on these machines, based on these users. If you apply to the machine, then all machine will be simply. If you apply to the users, then you say only engineer guys can access internet, general user not able to access internet. So group policy I will tell you whenever we will come later on. That is a very advanced topics. So before that, understood that concept, right? Now I have created domain controller. Now in domain controller, some persons definitely have managed this domain. So this person called domain admin.
Domain admin.
Okay. So domain admin can make any of the users by adding them into domain admin groups, right? Kena can be a domain admin, Noor can be a domain admin, Muhammad cannot be domain admin, you can be a domain admin. If organization want to give you a domain admin level access, just add them into the domain admin groups. You will be domain admin. Clear? This is the difference. If anyone will ask you what is the difference between users and domain admin, then you say domain admin is the part of domain admin high privileged groups, user is the part of not. These are different groups or not domain admin high privileged group. Now I am making Kena as a domain admin. So see, this is the domain admin groups. In this domain admin groups, I am adding Kena.
Kena is very lucky.
Not lucky. Everyone will be.
Then actually what happened is not completing the course and become domain admin.
Okay. Okay, fine. So I'm adding Kena is the domain admin. Sorry. Just select the users, go to the member options, add domain admin.
Siddharth, can you go back again because I think something.
No problem.
Yeah, please.
Select users. Select users. This is the user is basically default container. Okay. User is basically default because I will tell you every container. I will tell you what is the purpose, what is the things. I will tell you. Just I am discussing about the users. Later on, after this topic, I will come to container part. Okay. So each and individual, if I am not discussing Active Directory, it is not difficult for you. I mean, it is very difficult for you to understand. So right now, under this domain, I am creating users. Now user creation has been done, and after user creation, I am giving one of the users that he can manage Active Directory. Right? Now I am adding them Kena as a domain admin. Okay. So in that case, I am going to the members and add them domain admin. Now domain Kena is a Superman. Okay. Now Kena is a Superman. He can fly with chaddi. Okay. Huh? Okay. Now Kena, what are you doing?
It's the 10 minutes. I'm in a call. 10 minutes.
Okay. So I'll make you domain admin. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Make you in hot seat.
No, what is the enterprise admin, not domain admin?
Okay, so now Kena will, now here, this machine is not the part of organization enterprise, enterprise organization. This machine, client machine, let's say it may be user desktop, maybe user laptop, whatever it is, he is not the part of domain. So I am add them into the domain, right? To perform these machines to the domain, what are the prerequisites? Prerequisites is this machine NIC card. NCP.
Siddharth, what is domain joining?
Domain joining means okay.
An associate will be joined in the domain, right?
Let's say the forest has been created, company domain. It is a hcl.com, right?
Okay.
hcl.com. The forest is created, HCL.com. Now in HCL.com, did you check all the machines you are logging? That is a part of HCL.com, right?
Yes, yes.
That is the things. The machine will be the part of domain. It's called the domain computers. So I
No, for what happened when some people join, so and he got the laptop, okay, laptop, desktop, whatever. So when he first time used, so sometime getting error, machine is not in domain. So in that case, what have to do?
In that case, that means there is a book. That is a different part of troubleshooting, boss. That is a different thing. Different things is meant somewhat the channel was break. In that case, first you understood the domain joining, then I will tell you the later on that part. Okay. So this is the advanced question you ask actually. Okay.
Okay.
So
sorry.
after, as you told, that person has joined into the company, definitely they have give them laptops, right? So laptop is built by the IT guys. They have installed the application and then add them application into the computer into the domain, right?
Okay.
So before adding to the computer into the domain, they must have know what are the network configuration for this machine. So they check the computer having only IP address and subnet, but he does not have the DNS. DNS means that is the domain controller IP address. If you not give the domain controller IP address, you will not be part of this particular domain. Let's I'm trying to add this server into the domain. So for there, I'm going to my computer, right click, properties. From these properties there is an option computer name. From there, it's my laptop. Let's say this workstation name is laptop. Okay, and domain name is sit.com. So once I click on OK, it is showing as error. Why? Because it will not communicate with the domain. Why? Because I have not added them DNS IP address.
Yeah, because domain IP is different and this IP is different. That's why.
IP is not different. You have to, because here it's not the part of IP address. It's creating connectivity between workstation and domain. You got my point? You are supposed to be accumulated yourself into the domain. That is possible only after you put the domain controller IP address as a primary DNS of the computer. Now domain controller IP address, okay. So this is the domain controller IP address. Just go to the IP config. That is command I guess, IP config.
Yeah.
What is the IP of these machines?
11.
If you not add this IP address to another machine DNS, none of the machine will part of this domain. Right? Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm telling you got an opportunity at US. Now you are ready to go for US. Now you are entering into the US visa office. They will ask you what purpose you are going to US. Then you tell yes for the job purpose, right? So give me your offer letter. So this is your offer letter. And where you paste this offer letter? To the NIC card. Here. 11. Once you're done there.
Siddharth, what is the difference between preferred DNS and alternate? There's an option. Option is there.
If you have, next day I will show you that part. And if you have multiple domain controller, so first domain controller will be the first part, second domain controller is the second part.
Okay.
Even you can apply up to 40, 50 minimum domain controllers, no problem. For that only, there is a two option, first preferred, second one. Third one, if you go for advanced and DNS, here the list of 400, 500 domain controller you can add.
Okay, so you simply choose that IP and just keep there, right?
Yes.
What is EAN?
But you have to decide what I have to connect, which IP I have to connect, right?
WINS is a different thing. That is no longer used in WINS is already absolute from the market. Windows Internet Naming Service. After DNS come, Win is temporarily out of service. No longer use Wins. Okay. Now you guys see, you can ping the domain name. sig.com, right? Now you are able to add them into the domain.
Siddharth, here you provide the sit.com. We can provide the IP address of the domain also, right?
No, here the domain controller IP address will definitely part of your client machine's NIC card as a preferred DNS. Clear or not?
No, a little bit confusion. Actually, when you ping here, so you write here.
Okay.
When you go
Okay.
back,
Okay.
yeah.
Just tell me. Okay. Now these machines are going to part of this domain. Now there is an authentication question come. What purpose you are going to this domain? You say I am the laptop and I am the part of this domain. Okay. Who will give you the authority to come there? Then you say domain controller will give you the authority. Okay, where is your domain controller IP address? No, I don't have. Then go forget about it. So if you add this domain controller IP address in his NIC card, then it is his authority. You got my point? Then it is his authority. Clear?
No, I got this point. So when you use ping command, then after you give their domain name, I'm asking you, you give their domain name or we can provide this IP. This is my question.
Okay,
Actually.
forget about it. I'm already cleared this IP address. Now will you able to ping? Let's see. Maybe you can ping because I have already first time I've created ping, then you will might be create. Will you able to ping sig.com?
No, not reflecting.
No. Maybe you can ping the server but not the domain. To ping the domain, you must have the domain instance to be configured in your NIC card. That means domain controller IP address. This is domain controller IP address. Okay.
Okay.
Once you make them add, now you guys can ping the clear. Now once you make this ping, then you can able to join the domain. Now click on it. Okay. They will ask you who will authenticate you. So any of the users, let's say Noor also can give them his authentication, because domain user authenticating, you are trying to access them because you are applying visa to go your US office. Now you in visa office you provided your company contacts number. Now to verify visa office, they are calling to their contact persons. I'm telling that, do you know that person? Here actually he is moving from India to US just because he's telling that he got an opportunity in your organization. Is that correct information? Then person saying, okay, what is the person name? His name is Muhammad. Okay, let me check. Yeah, Muhammad is recently recruited and he's joining date on 5th. Okay, fine, I'm aligning. Then visa granted. So here he trying to enter the domain. Now who will authenticate? Definitely the domain users. So here is Noor is the domain user, or Razim is the domain user, or Kena is the domain user. Anyone can put their user ID password. He will be part of this domain. Welcome to the sig.com. Now this machine is part of the entire domain. Is that clear or not? After that it will take restart.
Yeah, it is clear now, but Siddharth, one more user you add as a domain.
Sorry?
One more user, like anyone you use as add as a domain.
Anyone can use as a, because see, while you are adding the computer into the domain, it will asking that any of the domain user can put their user ID password and authenticate that request. So here we 5 pupils are there in the domain. We 5 anyone can put their user ID and password, not domain admin.
Okay, okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now once you click on it, no users can log on. If he do not have the password, he cannot log on. You got my point?
Mhm.
Because this machine is already part of the seed domain and it is known as max. Now Kena can log on. Who can log on? Those who are the part of these users. That user can log on. Right?
Okay.
Here ABCD cannot log in. If I trying to say ABCD, Agram Bagram, anything will not log on. Username password is incorrect. That is all called the domain level security, boss. That is why Active Directory. Once you add the computer into the domain, ABCD person is out of from this market. Only the actual valid employees, they only can able to access.
That is also no.
Understood?
Yes,
You are
yes.
part of HCL.com. I am the part of Wipro.com. Today, some morning, I find no, I am going to HCL. You come to Wipro. None of will entertainment. Neither we can go inside the premises because HCL.com don't identify me. Rather, Wipro will not identify you. That is a problem. Clear?
Yeah. No, clear.
So I think today this is fair enough to the knowledge. When next classes we will learn because slowly understood this concept because this is a very vast thing. If you take too much of load, it will cause too much of problem because you have to do it in the practical, right? So till now, you have any doubts? Let me know. Noor, any doubt?
I'm all right. I'm just wondering about the practical. When I do practice, so is
Okay. So
maybe something.
practical. I'm deciding. Monday will practical do 10 p.m. IST will perform by Noor. Okay. Tuesday will perform by Muhammad. Okay. Wednesday will perform by Kena or Thursday will perform by Rajdeep. Saturday Sunday হবে না কি করে হবে Saturday Sunday ফুল ডে ক্লাস তো
আমাকে একটা যেহেতু একটা দিন রাত অ্যাকাউন্ট অফিস থেকে এসে মানে এনার্জি
অফিস থেকে এরা কি করে করছে ভাই কত সুখী
So that I can do practical on Tuesday, right?
So you are doing practical on Tuesday. কত সুখী হলে হবে না বাবা
বাড়িতেই ফিরে
চলো ফ্রাইডে নাইটে কর স্যাটারডে ঘুমোতে পারবে ফ্রাইডে নাইটে কর স্যাটারডে সকালে ব্যাচ সকাল 8টা থেকে ব্যাচ স্টার্ট এটা 3 নম্বর ব্যাচ বাড়ি থেকে কাজ করবি তোকে আসতে হবে না প্র্যাকটিক্যাল তো বাড়ি থেকে করবি
বাড়ি থেকে কি করে করবো
ওই দেখো বাড়ি থেকে এনি ডেস্ক কানেক্ট করে করবি দেখিয়ে দেবো নো প্রবলেম you will do the practical from your home no need to come here home it is every guys how will you do your practical tell me he's newbie actually he don't know how he can do the practical
Through any desk or remote.
will you be able to comfort I mean while you do the practical found any problems
No, it's very simple and easy.
okay so from home you can do the practical so you can tell me which day you want to do practical you can do it okay guys so no
Okay. Please share the video of previous two classes.
sure I'll share
Bye bye.
so any doubts
Bye everyone.
Right now.
okay Noor I do not have your mail ID please ping your mail ID in group chat so that I can share this video session
So you mean the mail ID in the Yahoo one or Gmail one?
Gmail always in Gmail
Siddharth, can you just little bit summarize what we learned today?
okay for the summarized we learn basic the virtualizations why physical server why virtual servers first we learn the why physical server why virtual server how VMware works in the market how we can reduce the cost then after we install the server as you know we learn the cloning part Then we learn the main purpose is Active Directory domain based security and what is the domain concept. Then we'll do the practicals, we'll install the domain and we'll add the computer into the domain. That is our last part, and we have created domain users. So these are the summary. So next practicals will tell you the enter Active Directory. I will show you enter Active Directory, which module, which functionality, what is they're doing one by one. Then I will do some request. I'll show you how some activity will come, how will they'll give you the some ticket, what kind of ticket will come, what kind of job will come to perform the Active Directory day-to-day activity. I will show you some there. Okay.
So in Active Directory, there's a lot of things we have to learn, right?
Yes, this is the first enter into the Active Directory. This is the first entrance part. You have
This is the first introduction.
Exactly.
Okay.
So next day we'll learn about the enter Active Directory theoretical part. That means forest, domain, trees, OU, users, in-depth understanding. Along with Active Directory metadata, Active Directory, directory structures, application, all this will learn here. Clear?
Okay. And Siddharth, tomorrow the practical which is left for me. So tomorrow I do after 10 p.m. right?
Yeah, tomorrow 10 p.m. I will give it to you.
And next practical will be on Tuesday,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah.
So sorry, yes, so my next class is gonna be a Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, your next class is on Saturday and you do the practical on Monday.
Monday is the same up past 2 IST. Yeah.
No.
Oh, is it
10 p.m.
10 p.m. IST?
Yeah.
I already sent my email address in a group. Taskadit@gmail.com. Is alright?
Yeah, all right. I'm sending it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.
মরবে এইসব টিকা খেয়ে, ওগুলো কিছুই না, ওগুলো সব জল ভরা মাল সব। ভ্যাকসিন থেকে টিকা দিচ্ছে, সব ভোট পাওয়ার জন্য করছে। কি ভাই, সার্ভার স্টার্ট করে তো এতদিন, সার্ভার স্টার্ট করে তো এতদিন খুব, সার্ভার সব জানে, উইন্ডোজ জানি, ভিএমআর জানি, এই জানি, ওই জানি, এটি জানি, দেখলি তো আজকে।
এটি তো জানি,
হ্যাঁ কি জানি সেটা মাথা খারাপ হয়ে যাচ্ছে তোর। বোঝ জিনিসটা বোঝ, এমনি প্যাকেজটা আসে না ভাই, এমনি পয়সাটা কেউ দেয় না, বুঝছো? দেখো আমি তোমায় দেখাচ্ছি,
মাথা ঘুরছে, ভালো লাগছে না।
এমনি যে দেখাচ্ছি, দেখো এমনি মালটা বাড়ে না, দেখাচ্ছি যে লোকে তো বিশ্বাস করে না। এই দেখ, এনার্জিটা আন। প্রথমে তো হাই তুলছিলিস, তারপরে কি করে তুই হাইটা বন্ধ হয়ে গেল? ইন্টারেস্টটা পেয়ে গেলি বলে,
জল খেলাম বলে।
প্রথমে তো হাই তুলছিলিস, ঠিক আছে? জিনিসটা একটু ভাব, তাহলে দেখবি লাইফ অনেক ইজি হয়ে গেছে। সারাদিন যদি হেসে খেলে চলতে থাকিস, জীবন কিন্তু গাদায় চলে যাবে। এই দেখ, খালি জিনিস তোকে দেখাচ্ছি, দেখ খালি প্যাকেজটা দেখ। ঠিক আছে, এমনি দেয় না। এগুলো আমি কেন দেখাচ্ছি লোকেদের? যাতে ইন্সপায়ার হয়, বুঝছো? অনেকটা বয়স খেয়ে নিয়েছো অলরেডি। এখন কত, 31 না 32? 30। তাহলে 30 বছর হয়ে গেল এখন, তাহলে জীবন অর্ধেক অধ্যায় তো শেষ, একটা কোয়ার্টার শেষ হয়ে গেল। এবার তো ওঠো, ঘুমটা থেকে ভাঙো। অফিস থেকে এসে বাবু টিভি দেখবে, ছোলা মুড়ি খাবে, মস্তি করবে। পড়াশোনাটা করো, নাহলে কপালে দুঃখ আছে, আমি বলে দিলাম। দেখেছিস ছেলেগুলো কিরকম প্রম্পট অ্যান্সার দিচ্ছে। এই যে নূর বলে যে ছেলেটা না, এ কি করে জানিস? এই লোকটা হচ্ছে আফগানিস্তানের লোক, এই ইউকেতে একটা হোটেলে কাজ করে, হোটেলের রিসেপশনিস্ট।
এ বাবা, তো এইসব পড়ে কি করবে?
আরে পরে ওই হোটেলের আইটিতে ঢুকবে। চিন্তা করে দেখ, তুই সেখানে একটা আইটি কোম্পানিতে হয়ে তুই হাই তুলছিস, আর সে একটা হোটেলের রিসেপশনিস্ট, বুঝছো? কেন আমি তোকে এখানে ডাকলাম, দেখ এখানে ছেলেগুলো, এই যে মোহাম্মদ বলে ছেলেটা, এই মোহাম্মদ বলে ছেলেটা পাতি হচ্ছে মনিটরিং এর মতো, তোর মনিটরিং এর কাজ করে। এই এডিসি কেও এতে যাবে। কেনা বলে যে ছেলেটা, চাঁদিতে আমি ঘাড়ে ঘাড়ে ডেস্কটপ নিয়ে যেত, ঠিক আছে, এখন অ্যাক্সেঞ্চারে এডিতে কাজ করে। আমার কাছে পড়ছে, কমপ্লিট নলেজ নিয়ে আমাদের জাম মারাবে, দেখে দেখে শেখ। ওরাও যে মেটেরিয়াল, তুইও সিআই মেটেরিয়াল, তুই বরঞ্চ বিটেক, ওরা কেউ বিটেক নয়, সব বিকম অনার্স, এই অনার্স।
বিটেক বলেই তো এইচসিএল এ প্রথমে পেয়েছি, এইচসিএল থেকে
ওসব
তারপরে
শোন, ওগুলো তুই এবার তুই আমাকে বলতো,
যে কাজটা করতাম সেটা তো একেবারে পাতি কাজ ছিল না, ভালো
করে লাভটা কি হলো বল? তুই এইচসিএল এ কাজটা করলি, এখানে তো ভুলভাল গোনা মিলে কাজ করছিস,
এখানে কি করব, এখানে কাজ
তাহলে কাজটা তোর কথা, আমার কথা হচ্ছে যে তাহলে তুই যে কাজটা করিস সেটার কোনো ভ্যালু নেই, ওয়ান অ্যান্ড ইউনিক নেই। আমরা তুই বললাম, আমি উইপ্রোতে সিটিওসও এডিতে কাজ করেছি, অ্যাক্সেঞ্চারও এডিতে কাজ করেছি, উইপ্রোতে এডিতে কাজ করছি, প্লাস আরো স্কিলস অ্যাড হয়ে গেল। তার মানে ওয়ান অ্যান্ড ইউনিক টেকনোলজি নিয়ে পড়াশোনা করছি, যার আমি এক্সপিরিয়েন্সের দাম পাচ্ছি। কলকাতার মুখে 12 লাখ টাকা কি চারটিখানি কথা? তুই বল, কে দেবে? কেউ দেবে? দেবে কেউ? বল
না দেওয়ার কি আছে,
তাই নাকি?
হ্যাঁ, এই যে এমবিএ পড়েছি, এমবিএ পড়াশোনার মানে 12 লাখ টাকা মিনিমাম।
না না, তোকে ডিগ্রিটা দেখে এমনি উনি 12 লাখ টাকা দেবে নাকি?
না,
তাহলে
না, সেটার জন্য আরো
তুই
কিছু
কোনো
করতে
আইডিয়া
হবে।
আছে যারা যারা মেডিকেল মানে রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ, এরাও তো সেলসে কাজ করে।
এদের তো
না না, এদের ব্যাপার নয়, অ্যাকচুয়াল সেলস কিন্তু এরাই করে। প্রপার মার্কেটিং যদি দেখতে যাও না এমবিএ, এরা যতই যারা মেডিকেল এমআর ফেমার, ম্যাক্সিমাম দে আর এমবিএ। ভেরি লেস পিপল আর ফ্রম বিএসসি জিওলজি অর ফিজিওলজি অনার্স, ম্যাক্স টু ম্যাক্স নাও ইট ইজ এমবিএ। আমার চেনাশোনা দুটো ছেলে এমবিএ করে এমআর এ ঢুকেছে। কত টাকা মাইনেছে তারা?
কত 40-30-40 হাজার টাকা মাইনে পাবে।
তাহলে আর একটা তুই বিটেক করে কত পাচ্ছিস?
বিটেক করে হয়তো 6 লাখ।
6 লাখ টাকা। কি কাজ করছিস? অ্যাসেটের নাম্বার লিখছিস আর এক্সেলে সেভ করছিস। বলতে লজ্জা লাগে না, তাও তুই বলছিস যে আইটিতে এইসব করে কি হবে। আর যেদিনকে এইগুলো জানবি, যেদিন অ্যাক্টিভ ডাইরেক্টরি এইগুলো জানবি, সেদিন বুঝতে পারছিস কোথায় রাখবি পয়সাগুলো। লকার কিনেছিস সেদিনের জন্য? লাইনে এসো,
এমন কিছুই না,
এমন কিছুই নয়, ঠিক আছে। কলকাতায় 12 লাখ টাকা মানে বিশাল ব্যাপার, এটা জেনে রাখ। ইভেন দিস সিচুয়েশনে কলকাতায় 12 লাখ মানে বিশাল ব্যাপার এই সিচুয়েশনে। এটা যদি নর্মাল সিচুয়েশন হতো ঠিক আছে, 14-15 ঠিক আছে, 12 পাও মানে বিশাল ব্যাপার এই সিচুয়েশনে। কগনিজেন্টে পেতাম 8, এখানে পেয়েছি 12, বুঝেছিস? এমনি এমনি দেয় না, অনেক কাঠখড় করতে হবে বাবা।
দেখো সত্যি কথা বলতে দাদা, বিশ্বাস করো, আমার আইটির যে জিনিসপত্রগুলো না আমার মাথার থেকে না একটুখানি
ঢোকাও, মাথায় ঢোকাচ্ছ না কেন? নালে এগোতে পারবি। আর তুই জিনিস বুঝতে পারছিস না, তুই অ্যাসেট ম্যানেজমেন্ট করে কতদিন চালাবি এখানে? তুই বল
বাবা, আমি অ্যাসেট ম্যানেজমেন্টে কে থাকতে চাইছে?
তাহলে কোথায় ঢুকবি?
থাকতে চাইছি
তুই
না।
কোথায় ঢুকবি?
আমার ইচ্ছাই নেই আইটিতে আর থাকা। আইটির থেকে পুরো একদম ডিফারেন্ট হয়।
তাহলে তুই ছেড়ে দে।
সরকারি জায়গায় যাওয়া, নালে পরে আমি কোনো
সরকারি জায়গায়
কোকোকোলা কোম্পানি,
না, না।
কোকোকোলা কোম্পানি কোনো সরকারি কোম্পানি না তো। কোকোকোলা একটা প্রাইভেট কোম্পানি, রাইট? প্রাইভেট কোম্পানিতে ওখানে বড় বড় আচ্ছা মার্কেটিং যেসব ইয়েরা আসে, যখন তুমি গাড়ি থেকে নামবে, একজন স্যুট বুট টাই পরে,
তারা কোন তারা একদম এমবিএ করে স্যুট বুট টাই পরে কোকোলা ঢুকে গেছে নাকি?
না,
তাহলে
তারা হয়তো প্রথমে ঢুকেছে কোনো একটা ছোট কোম্পানিতে।
পারবি আজকে? না, তোর আজকে যে লেভেলে তুই আছো বাবু, সেই লেভেল থেকে নেমে মার্কেটিং এ গিয়ে বিক্রি করতে পারবে দোকানে এই গরমে?
সবাইকে যে ওরকম গরমে যেতে হয় তার কোনো মানে নেই।
একদম বিটেক করে এমবিএ করে একদম 7 লাখ টাকা মাইনের চাকরি, বাস্তব মাটিতে নেমে।
আমিও বিটেক পাস করে 2 লাখ টাকা মাইনের চাকরিতে আমিও কাজ করেছি এইচসিএল এ।
বাস্তবে মাটিতে নেমে আয় বাবা, বাস্তবে মাটিতে নেমে। অত সোজা মনে করিস না দুনিয়াটাকে, অতটা সোজা যেটা ভাবছিস না অতটা সোজা নয়। তুই যদি মনে করিস যে বাকি দিনগুলো হেলায় হেলায় কেটে যাবে, সালা যেখানে অন প্রিমিসেস টেকনোলজি উঠে যাচ্ছে, সব ক্লাউডে মুভ হচ্ছে, বুঝতে পারছিস? আইটিতে তুই ভেতর দিয়ে দেখছিস, আমি ওপর থেকে দেখি। তোরা আইটির ভেতর থেকে দেখছিস, আরে তুই কিসে কাজ করছিস রে এডি, তুই কিসে ভিএমআর, তুই কিসে ক্লাউড, সর্বশেষ। আমি উপর থেকে দেখছি আস্তে আস্তে অন প্রিমাইসেস জিনিসটাই উঠে যাচ্ছে, ওভারঅল মুভ হচ্ছে ক্লাউডে। আর তুই সেখানে সার্ভারই জানিস না, ক্লাউড তো দূরের কথা। ছিঁড়ে আঁটি মারবি কিছুদিন পর, বুঝছিস? কিছুদিন পর আঁটি মারবি। আইটি ইন্ডাস্ট্রি পুরো সমস্ত দরজা বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে। ভালো চাস, এখনো বলছি, নিজেকে ট্রেন কর, নিজেকে একটু কষ্ট কর। আমিও সকালবেলা কটার সময় উঠি জানিস?
আরে কথা বলি দাদা, তোমার একটা কথা বলি, দেখো যে জিনিসটা তোমার ভালো লাগে সেই জিনিসে যদি তোমাকে সুন্দর করে যদি বলা হয় তুমি মানে 10 টাকার জিনিস করো, তুমি সেখানে 10 টাকা থেকে 50 টাকাও করে ফেলতে পারবে। আর যেটা তোমার ভালো লাগে না সেটা তোমাকে দেখো, আমার অঙ্ক ভালো লাগে, কথার কথা, সাপোজ আমার অঙ্ক ভালো লাগে, আমাকে বলছে তুমি হিস্ট্রি পড়ো, হিস্ট্রি অনার্স করো, হিস্ট্রিতে পিএইচডি করো, ছাতা হিস্ট্রি আমার মাথায় ঢোকে না, আমাকে
তাহলে তোরা বলছিস তাহলে তুই বলছিস তোর আইটিটা ভালো লাগে, তাই তো?
সত্যি ভালো লাগে না, কিন্তু আমাকে থাকতে হচ্ছে সেই আইটিতেই
পয়সার জন্য।
তারপর কথা হচ্ছে যে কলকাতায় আইটি ছাড়া আর বড় কিছু নেই।
তাহলে এবার তুই কি করবি বল? খাতা পেন লিখে কবিতা লেখ, মাস গেলে টাকাটা আসবে তো? এসো,
কলকাতায় আইটি ছাড়া বড় কিচ্ছু নেই।
বাবার অত পয়সাও নেই যে বড় একটা ফার্ম করে দেবে, ছেলে একদম সুদ পড়ে বসে যাবে। সেটা আমারও তাই, তোমারও তাই। তাহলে কি অপশন বল? আমরা যদি যেটা চাইতাম সেটা তো, আমার তো এই লাইনে আসার ইচ্ছেই ছিল না, জানিস? আমার কোন লাইনে আসার ইচ্ছে ছিল? মেরিন ইঞ্জিনিয়ার হওয়ার কথা ছিল। বাড়ি থেকে পালিয়ে গেছিলাম, জিজ্ঞেস কর। 12 পাসের পর মার্কশিট ফার্কশিট নিয়ে পালিয়ে গেছিলাম জাহাজে ভর্তি হবো বলে। সেখান থেকে বাবা ধরে নিয়েছিল, আমি তোকে যেতে দেবো না জাহাজে, কারণ বাবা মেরিন ইঞ্জিনিয়ার ছিল, তোকে যেতে দেবো না, ওখানকার বাজে লাইফ, তোকে যেতে দেবো না। রেজিস্ট্রেশন ফেশন ছিঁড়ে ফেলে দিয়ে কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে ভর্তি করে দিল। তাহলে সেইখান থেকে আমি আজ এখানে কি করে এলাম বল? এলাম তো এলাম, 10টা 5টা চাকরি করি না, ট্রেনার হয়ে গেছি। জিনিসটাকে ভালোবেসে যখন দেখলাম অগত্যা আমাকে এইটা নিয়ে বেঁচে থাকতে হবে, তো বুদ্ধিমানের কাজটা ওই দিকেই যাও না।
সত্যি বলতে দাদা আমার আইটি জিনিসটাই পছন্দ না।
আবার সেই এক কথা, আমার কি আইটিটা পছন্দ ছিল নাকি? আমি কম্পিউটার যখন, আমি তো বাংলা মিডিয়ামের ছেলে, আর্যবিদ্যালয় থেকে পাস করেছি। পরে যখন অফিসে কলেজে গেছি না, ল্যাবে লোকে বসে কম্পিউটার সি এর প্রোগ্রামিং করছে, আমি কম্পিউটারটা পাওয়ারই অন করতে পারছি না। হঠাৎ ম্যাম এসছে, এসে বলছে এই কি হলো? আমি ম্যাডাম এই ছবি আসছে না। হাসছিস তো? আমি জিজ্ঞেস করেছি আমার বাবাকে, আমি ম্যাডাম ছবি আসছে না। ম্যাডাম বলছে I'll just kick on your ass, go outside in the office. Do not come in my life. বাইরে বসে আছি, এবার আমি দেখছি এই ছবিটা কি করে আনছি, ঠিক আছে? সবাই আমার কথা হাসছে, সবাই আমার কথা শুনে হাসছে। ইন দ্য ইয়ার অফ 2007 কি 2004 ছবি আসছে না। তারপরের দিনকে আবার ল্যাবে গেছি, লোকে আবার দেখছি চালিয়ে কাজ করছে, যাকে জিজ্ঞেস করছি তারা হাসছে, মুখে মুখে ভাগ 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 এখান থেকে করছে। নো ওয়ান ক্যান হ্যান্ডেল। তাহলে আজকের দিনটা দেখে আমাকে বুঝতে পারবি সেই দিনটা। এবার খুব কষ্ট সৃষ্ট করে দেখলাম যে এখানে সুইচটা মারতে হয়, তবে ছবি আসবে। এবার ছবি এসে গেছে, দেখছি মাছ হাঁস ঘোড়া সব ঘুরছে মানে ছবির ওপর, কোনটাতে ঢুকবো? ঠিক আছে, যে কোনোটাতে ক্লিক করছি, এই রে সারা যদি পয়সা কেটে নেয়, ইন্টারনেট বিলে পয়সা কেটে নেয়, প্রতিদিন পাবো, ঠিক আছে, চুপচাপ হ্যাং হয়ে চুপচাপ বসে যাও। এবারে ওদের দেখা দেখি আমিও দেখছি খটখট 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 করছি, ওরাও প্রোগ্রামিং করছে, আমি খটখট খটখট। তো যাই, তোমার আউটপুট কত এসছে? আমি চুপচাপ বসে আছি। আউটপুট কি আউটপুট? এসে দেখছে রিসাইকেল বিনে ঢুকে বসে আছে। এই লেভেলের মনে হচ্ছে, বুঝছো? and just খোঁজ নিয়ে দেখ, সার্ভারে ওয়ান অফ দ্য কলকাতা 5টা ট্রেনের মধ্যে আমি একজন, ঠিক আছে? 5টা ট্রেনের মধ্যে আমি একজন। আমার বন্ধুরা এখন আমাকে ইউএস যে যেখানে আছে সেখান থেকে কংগ্রাচুলেশন করে। লিমিটেড
ভালো লাগে না, জানো তো, এই আইটি জিনিসটাই না ভালো লাগে না। আবার অন্য কোনো যে কোনো
তাহলে ছেড়ে দে। তোকে আমি বেশি কিছু বলছি, তুই চাকরিটা ছেড়ে দিয়ে খালি বাড়িতে বস, তারপর দেখবি।
না চাকরি, দেখো চাকরিটা যেটা তুমি বলছো, চাকরিটা যদি সেরকম লেভেলের, যদি সেরকম জিনিস যদি আমি হতো, তাহলে অবভিয়াসলি ভালো।
কি জিনিস বল? কি জিনিস? তুই
কোন প্রোডাক্ট বেসড কোম্পানির আমি অ্যানালিটিক্স এর কাজ করব।
অ্যানালিটিক্স আছে, তার জন্য তুই পয়সা খরচ করে ডেটা সায়েন্স শিখেছিস?
শিখতে পারি আমি,
শিখতে পারি।
হ্যাঁ
বললাম তো, টাকাটাই জলে দিবি, অত সোজা নয়। ডেটা সায়েন্স শিখতে গেলে কি জানতে হয় জানো?
স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স শিখতে,
এমএল।
হ্যাঁ মেশিন লার্নিং।
কোথায় শিখবি বল? এমএল শিখতে 4 লাখ টাকা খরচা দিবি, তারপর ডেটা অ্যানালিটিক্স এর কোর্স হয় 2 লাখ টাকা 6 লাখ টাকা, তারপর ডেটা অ্যানালিটিক্স এর কোর্স 8 লাখ টাকা।
অলরেডি তো 8 লাখ টাকা খরচা করে তো ফেললাম,
গল্প শেষ হয়ে গেছে। তার নেই, আর নেই তো পয়সা, আর কি করবি বল? কি করি বল? সোজা হবে না, জিনিসটা অত সোজা নয়।
ওর থেকে মনে হয় এমবিএ না পড়েছে তো মেশিন লার্নিং এর কোনো একটা সার্টিফিকেশন করলে পরে তো আমাদের অনেক কাজের কাজ করতে। এখন সবকিছুই তো আর্টিফিশিয়াল ইন্টেলিজেন্স মেশিন লার্নিং এর উপর।
তোর ডিগ্রি প্রচুর আছে কিন্তু লাভ কিছু হবে না। এখন তুই চাইছিস কোনো রকম অফিসটা কাজ করে দিয়ে বাড়িতে একটু ঘুরবো, তোমার ঘুরবো, একটু ঘুমোবো, গান শুনবো, ভিক্টোরিয়ার ছবি তুলবো, ওই করে দিন কাটাবো।
ভাল লাগছে না কাজে তো কি বলবো আমি।
তো ভালোটা লাগাতে হবে, ভালোটা লাগাতে হবে, তাতেই তোমার মঙ্গল। নাহলে সব শুধু নিয়ে ভোগে ঢুকে যাবে। কলকাতার যে অবস্থা না, সাইকেলটি টুক করে রেখে 4টে টাকা দিয়ে গাড়ির মধ্যে উঠে পড়ছে সকালবেলা, সেই গাড়ি তোমায় নিয়ে চলে যাচ্ছে আবার নিয়ে আসছে, যেতে 350, আসতে 350, 700 টাকা অফিস দিয়ে তোমাকে নিয়ে আসছে, নিয়ে যাচ্ছে। কাল যখন চাকরিটি ছাড়বে না বাড়িতে, এরকম বাবা মার কিস্তিটা খাবে, সেদিন বুঝবে। বুঝলে? আমি যে দাদার কথা যা বলছি না, দাদার কথাগুলো অনেক রুট লেভেলের কথা। ঘাড়ে করে মেশিন নিয়ে এই বেহালা থেকে ধর্মতলা লোকের বাড়িতে বাড়িতে মেশিন পৌঁছে দিয়ে আসতাম, কম্পিউটার। পুরোনো মেশিন যাদের খারাপ হতো, দাদা একটু হয়ে গেছে নিয়ে যাবেন, আপনি এসে দিয়ে যান। ঘাড়ে করে মেশিন নিয়ে যাচ্ছে। সেসব দিন কাটিয়ে এসছে। পার ডে 100 টাকা করে কনভেন্স ছিল, সেই 100 টাকাটা বাঁচার জন্য বাজারে থলি নিয়ে যেতাম আর সাইকেল নিয়ে যেতাম। থলির মধ্যে সিপিইউ ধরে কিবোর্ড ভরে নিয়ে যেতাম, বজ অব্দি নিয়ে গেছি সাইকেল চালিয়ে। বাবা লাইফটা তো সোজা নয়, অনেক কষ্ট করে তবে এই জীবনে এখানে এসেছি। মানে যখন পিছনে ঘুরে দেখেছি না যে আমার কোনো অবস্থা নেই, যে বাবা মেরিন ছিল, লোকে বললে বিশ্বাসই করবে না। বাবার এমন একটা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হলো, অ্যাপেন্ডিক্স বাস্ট করে গিয়ে সব হয়ে গিয়ে 22 থেকে 23-24 লাখ টাকা আমাদের অ্যামরিক খেয়ে নিল। পুরো একদম ধরাকে সারা, বাবার চাকরিও চলে গেল, সব চলে গেল। বাংলা মিডিয়ামে এসে ভর্তি হলাম, ইংলিশ মিডিয়াম ছেড়ে। এখান থেকে জীবন শুরু হলো। সেখান থেকে যদি আমি 180 ডিগ্রি ঘোরাতে পারি, তুই কেন পারবি না বল? তোকে তো তোর বাবা বিটেক করে দিয়েছি, এমবিও করে নিয়েছিস, আর কি চাই? এইদিকেই ঠিকঠাকভাবে থাক না। তো এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটা তো পাচ্ছিস ডেলি টু ডেলি। আজ তুই কমিউনিটি কত বছর এক্সপিরিয়েন্স, তোর কত বছর এক্সপিরিয়েন্স হয়ে গেল বল? ওভারঅল কত এক্সপিরিয়েন্স হলো? 6 বছর। আর যদি এডিটা ভালো করে শিখে নিস, সার্ভারটা ভালো করে শিখে নিয়ে সিভিটিভি বানিয়ে নিলি, নিয়ে বললি বস আমি সার্ভারে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স, ইন্টারভিউ দিলি, ফার্স্ট পারলি না, সেকেন্ডটা পারলি, থার্ড পারলি, ফোর্থ পারলি না, সিক্স পারলি না, 7 পারলি না, 10 নম্বর দিয়ে তো পারবি। পারবি তো? তুই তো আইটিতে এসে গেছিস ভাই, আর তুই অ্যানালিটিক্সে যেতে পারবি না, এটা তুই কেন বুঝতে পারছিস না? আমি এখন আর চাইলেও জাহাজে যেতে পারবো না, এটা বোঝ। আমি এখনো চাইলে মেরিন ইঞ্জিনিয়ার হতে পারবো না। আমাকে এই লাইফটার মধ্যেই আমাকে সেই সমস্ত সুখটাকে নিয়ে আসতে হবে।
আমার ইচ্ছাটা হচ্ছে অ্যানালিটিক্সে যাওয়া।
পারবি না, আর হবে না অপশন, বয়স নেই, বয়স চলে গেছে। আর ওই মেশিন লার্নিং নেওয়ার ক্ষমতা তো নেই। একটা ডেমো যদি সেশনও জয়েন করিস না, মাথার উপর দিয়ে চলে যাবে, বুঝছো? সেই ক্যাপাসিটি গল্প শেষ। যদি বিটেক পড়ার পরে তুমি অ্যানালিটিক্স শিখতে, আমার যেমন একটা ভাই, আমার কাকিমার বোনের ছেলে, ও আইবিএম এ ছিল ডেটা অ্যানালিটিক্সে, এখন অ্যাস্টার জেনে জয়েন করেছে। বয়স কত? 26 বছর। কত প্যাকেজে জয়েন করেছেন অ্যাস্টার জেনে? 18 ডেটা অ্যানালিটিক্স। তো সেই দ্যাট ইজ দ্য এজ। ছেলেটা শুধু ডেটা অ্যানালিটিক্সে কাজ করে না, শেখায়। শেখাতে কত নিচ্ছে জানিস? এক একটা প্যাকেজে শেখাচ্ছে 3.5 লাখ টাকা প্যাকেজ দিচ্ছে। কোনো জব অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট জাস্ট শেখো। শেখার পর তুমি যা করো ছেড়ানো। তুমি যদি শিখতে চাও, বড় অর্গানাইজেশন 8 লাখ টাকা নেবে, আমি 3.5 লাখ টাকা। এবার নো চাকরি বাকরি ভাই, এরপর তুমি তোমার মতো বুঝে নাও। লাভ কিছু হবে? তুই ডেটা এন্ট্রি শেখার পর তুই চাকরি পাবি? ও আগে ডেটা এন্ট্রি বলে কিছু জানতো না। কি হয়েছে? আইবিএম এ প্লেস হয়েছে, এমটেক করেছে বাবু। এমটেক করার পরে সেই লেভেলের ক্যাম্পাসিং আইবিএম এ হয়েছে। আইবিএম ওকে ডেটা অ্যানালিটিক্সে কাজ করার সুযোগ দিয়েছে। এইটাই হচ্ছে সব থেকে বড় জিনিস। তোকে কোম্পানি যে ট্রেডে ফেলবে, সেই ট্রেডে তুই কাজ করতে করতে, সেইটারই অভিজ্ঞতা করতে করতে, সেটাই তোর মধ্যে গেঁথে যাবে।
হ্যাঁ,
সেটাই ওর হয়েছে।
এটাই দেখো, আমাকে আজ তুমি এই যে বলো এইচসিএল যেমন আমাকে এক কোম্পানি থেকে হায়ার করেছে, মানে রিক্রুটমেন্ট করেছে, আমাকে নিয়ে গিয়ে ফেলেছে কোথায়? কোনো ডেভেলপারে ফেলেনি, কোনো টেস্টিং এ ফেলেনি, আমাকে নিয়ে গিয়ে ফেলেছে সাপোর্টে ডোমেন। ও কোথায় না না কোথায় ফেলেছে গিয়ে সেটা হচ্ছে কি তোমার ডেটা সেন্টারের প্রথমে আমাকে সার্ভার টেকনোলজিটা অল্প মানে একদম বেস যেটা লাগে সেটা L1 লেভেলের একদম বেস যেসব শেখানোর ওইটুকু শেখানোর পরে তারপরে কি করলো গিয়ে ফেললো কোথায় মনিটরিং।
এবার তুমি যদি গান্ডু না হয় চালু হতে তুমি মনিটরিং এর সাথে সাথে ওখানে একটা কোর্স করে সার্ভারে ঢুকিয়ে দিতে পারতে।
শোনো এই যে কথাটা বললো তো আমি চেয়েছিলাম যে আমি যদি ওখানে মানে যেটুকু আমি মানে চেয়েছিলাম আমার আইটিতে যাওয়ার কোনো ইচ্ছাই নেই,
ভিডিওটা ফাটিয়ে জানালে ভুলে যাব।
হ্যাঁ আমি সাথে সাথে কি করলাম ওখানে সরকারি যে মুখার্জি নগরে ওখানে দিল্লিতেই ওখানে মুখার্জি নগর বলে একটা জায়গা আছে সেখানে সরকারি ইনস্টিটিউট আছে সেখানে ভর্তি হয়ে যেতে চেয়েছিলাম যে আমার ভাই দরকার নেই এরকম চাকরি। 15,000 টাকা
তখন কেন তুই না তখন তুই কেন সেটাকে মানে তখন তুই ডিসিশনটা নিয়ে এখন তো তুই অলমোস্ট গল্প সব শেষ করে দিয়েছিস, আর তো কিছু করার নেই না, আর তো কিছু এখন তুই মোটামুটি এখন তোর 30 বছর বয়স হয়ে গেছে, আর কিচ্ছু করার নেই বাবু। তোমাকে এখন এই জিনিস শিখতে হবে, শিখে এগিয়ে আগে এগোতে হবে, ঠিক আছে? নাহলে কিন্তু কপালে তোমার শনি আছে।
তুমি এত ভয় দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছ না।
আরে ভয়ের কি রে ভাই, আমি তোকে যেটা প্র্যাকটিক্যাল লাইফ সেইটা বলছি। আমি যে কথাগুলো বলছি যে ছেলেগুলো এখানে জয়েন করেছে তাদের সঙ্গে ডিসকাস, এটা আমাকে সিদ্ধার্থদা বলেছে, জিজ্ঞেস করে দেখিস সব ছেলেগুলোকে, দেখেছিস কিরকম ফার্স্ট পিক আপ করছে টপ 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 করে। জীবনে ইচ্ছাটাকে যদি মেরে ফেলেছো তুমিও শেষ হয়ে গেলে, ঠিক আছে? পয়সা মানুষ চায় আমি আঁকড়ে ধরে রাখতে, অবশ্যই সেটা পয়সাটা চায়। আরে পয়সাটা তখন আঁকড়ে ধর যখন পয়সাটা আসছে, কিন্তু যখন তুই জিনিসটা কিছু তৈরি করলি না, তোর প্রোডাক্টই বানালি না, তুই সেই 2 টাকা 3 টাকা ধরে কি করবি? আজ তুই 10,000 15,000 টাকার জন্য তুই আঁকড়ে ধরে আছিস, না বাবা কে খরচা করে এত কিছু শিখবে, আর তুই তো এগোতে তোর তো গ্রোথই হবে না, তুই তো টাকাটাই পাবি না। আজ তুই ইনভেস্ট যতক্ষণ না করবি, জিনিসটা যতক্ষণ নিজেকে না শিখবি, তোর লাভ কি আছে? ভুলভাল এমবিএ করে কি লাভ আছে?
ভুলভাল এমবিএ বলে দিলে, এত কষ্ট করে 8 লাখ টাকা খরচা করে এমবিএ পড়লাম মানে অফিস করে, তো ওটাকে ভুলভাল বলে দিলে। এই দেখো ব্যাগে করে বই